loves, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Alexis. Welcome to those who are new. Today I'm filming a full face of makeup using only one makeup brand. The brand that I'm using is Milani. I'm super excited for this video because Milani is one of my favorite makeup brands, and some of the products I'm using today are new. So at the end of this video I'm going to be doing a hit or miss on the products that I have not used before. If you guys are interested in this video, please continue watching. I first started by applying a primer. I used my Maybelline Master Prime in the purple bottle because I didn't find one in the Milani that I actually liked. And then I'm going to be using the Milani Perfect and Conceal 2-in-1 foundation. I am in the color Nude Chair. I started to apply it with the end of the applicator, and I started to get confused. I was looking at it weird because I thought that something was wrong and that I was doing it wrong, and I found out at the end that I was. You can actually pump it out, and I didn't know that because I was kind of dumb and didn't open it. But I just started to make it smooth on my face so that it was easier to move around with my beauty blender. I then grabbed my beauty blender and started to apply my foundation evenly around my face. And as you can see, the foundation was a good match. I did it online, so I didn't know if it was going to match my skin color or not. I was actually kind of scared that it was going to oxidize, and it didn't do that, so I was really impressed with that. Also, their makeup smells really good, so if you see me smelling it, just please ignore that. I'm just continuing to evenly spread around my foundation. I apply it, I kind of build it up because I like that full coverage look. If you want it more natural, you don't have to do that. I blended it down my neck because I didn't know if it was going to oxidize, so I just was being cautious. I also put my foundation on my eyelids so that I can prime it for my eyeshadow, so it has a good base, because I don't like using eyeshadow primer. They tend to make my eyeshadows kind of spotchy, but that's just me. Everyone is different. I took a lot of time on doing my foundation because it wasn't a foundation, and I was scared that it wasn't going to be the right color for me. Now I'm just going in with the Milani Conceal and Perfect concealer in the color 115. I'm just putting it under my eyes and then dragging it out towards my cheekbones just to brighten and highlight that area. I'm also putting it on the middle of my forehead and a little bit just above my lip just to brighten those areas up. I'm now just blending out my concealer. I'm putting it on my eyelid as well, just because I like that good base for my eyeshadow. This concealer was thick, so it was really nice for my eyeshadows, and they blended out perfectly. Just blending all my concealer out, making sure that I'm dragging it down. I'm now going in with my Maybelline Fit Me powder because I didn't find any of the Milani in store, and I just put it underneath my eyes, and then I'm putting it on the sides of my mouth because when I smile and laugh, which I do a lot, it creases and it gives that weird like line look in my foundation. So I'm just applying it on the areas that I get oily and things crease. And then I'm just going to go in with a normal powder brush and apply my powder how you normally would. I like to press my powder into my skin because when you just drag it around, you also drag around excess foundation, and it takes away that coverage that you are looking for. So you can just see that I'm pressing it into my skin. I'm only dragging underneath my eyes to get rid of that excess because sometimes it tends to leave a lot of white residue just sitting there and it causes flashback. So that's the only thing that I drag, and I especially press it into the sides of my cheeks where I get those lines, and my nose and my chin and my head. Now I'm just applying my Milani bronzer that I got with my e.l.f. contour brush. The bronzer actually came with its own little brush, but I prefer to use my e.l.f. contour brush. I'm just applying it underneath my cheekbones and blending it out evenly on each side. And then I'm going to be applying it to my forehead because I like that tan, natural look. I'm also going to be applying it on my jawbone and down my neck so that it matches my skin color, so that doesn't look like my head is darker than the rest of my body. I also blend it on my chin so that it blends from my jaw down to my neck evenly and smooth. I'm also going to be blending out my cheeks again because the line looked a little harsh on my cheeks. I didn't really like that. I'm also put a little bit on my nose. I don't do the whole contour where I actually contour my nose to look slimmer because I don't like the way that that looks. And then I grabbed a bigger brush so I could blend out that harsh line a little bit more to my liking. Now we are going to be getting into the brows. I got the Milani Stay Put pomade in brunette. And how I do my brows is I just line the bottom of them and then outline the top of them. And then I just blend upwards and downwards until I get the solid color that I'd like on my brows. I usually use the Anastasia Dip Brow, but I wanted to keep this makeup look as Milani as possible so that you guys could see the different products. But this is what my brows looked like before I carved them out with the concealer. You can see I'm just touching up, filling in any gaps that I can see, making sure it has that thick, solid brown color that I like for my eyebrows. And then the ends, I'm just trying to blend up to make them look lighter in the front and not as dark, and make it look like it's one whole eyebrow on my forehead. And then I'm just trying to see if they are even and if I should touch them up or not. Now I'm going to be getting into the concealing of my eyebrows. I'm just using the same concealer I used earlier on my under eyes, and I'm just outlining the bottom of my eyebrow and then the top just to get that sharp and crisp shape of my eyebrow that I want. Then I'm just blending it all out to make sure that the edges are all smooth. Now for the eyeshadow, I'm using the Milani Bold Obsessions palette. For the first two colors I'm using are for the base and the transition color. The first color I used was the lighter one in the palette as a base to set the concealer that I had to make sure that my colors would blend evenly. And now I'm just going in with that darker color there in my crease. This is going to be my transition color. I'm just putting that on there as a base for the next color that I'm about to use. I'm trying to smoke out my eyeshadows just a little bit on the edges so that it looks more natural. I wasn't trying to do a dramatic look today. I'm just going to be doing what I did on the first eye to my other eye now. Now I'm just grabbing that same color and I'm just trying to make it a little bit darker than what it was. Now I'm using this little eyeshadow duo in the color 120 Hot Couple. I'm using that burnt orange color and putting it on top of that transition color in my crease and doing the same thing of smoking it out and blending it evenly throughout my crease. I'm just going to be doing the same thing to the other eye again. I'm just going to be going back over that color again to make it a little bit darker. And then on the corners of my eyes, I'm patting a little bit extra on the corners to make it a little bit darker to give my eye a little bit of dimension and blend it up towards the middle a little bit. Now I'm just spraying my eyeshadow brush with a setting spray, the Milani Make It Last, and then I've used that shimmery gold color and applied it to my eyelid. I sprayed it first just so that the glitter popped out a little bit more than what it did without it. I'm just going to be doing the same thing to the other eye again. Now I'm just grabbing that burnt orange color again and I'm going to be applying it on my bottom lash line. I'm just trying to smoke it out a little bit just so it looks a little bit more natural. Now I am applying my Milani Make It Last setting spray all over my face. And then I am going to be applying my Milani highlight. It is the strobe light one. I'm just using a fluffy eyeshadow brush to apply this. I apply it on my cheekbones and then I apply it on my nose, my cupid's bow, and right on my eyebrow bone. Next, I'm applying my Milani blush in the color Luminoso, and I just apply it on the apples of my cheeks and I drag it up towards my highlight just a little bit. I take my time blending my blush out so that it doesn't look like an orange streak on my cheeks. Now I'm just going in with their cream lipstick in the shade 77 Matte Tender. It took me a minute to apply this lipstick because I was wearing chapstick, so it didn't want to stick on my lips at first. I actually ended up not liking this color, so I applied their Gold Dust Lip Plumping Lip Gloss on top, just because it was more of the gold, so it matched that shimmer on my lid. And I ended up liking this a lot better, and I liked how glossy it looked. I'm going to be talking about the hits first, and the first one I'm talking about is the foundation. The foundation really impressed me. I thought that it wasn't going to be my same skin color. I thought it was going to oxidize really, really bad and make me look orange, but it did not do that. It was like the perfect color for me. It didn't oxidize at all. The one that I use every day that isn't even from the drugstore oxidizes really bad, and this one did not at all, so that is telling you something. But I got mine in the color Nude Chair, and I really, really, really recommend this to everyone. Like, this is so good. I'm going to be repurchasing this for sure, probably wearing it every day, and it was only like $8, which isn't bad at all, because the one that I get from like Ulta is like $12, and this definitely beats it by far. Since we're talking about foundation, I might as well talk about the concealer next. I really like this concealer. It seemed really thick when I applied it at first, so I thought it wasn't going to blend out to what I liked. But this one worked really well. Like, it really brightened up my under eyes. It hasn't creased at all yet, which I've been wearing this for about 2 hours now, and I'm really impressed. But it's really thick and creamy, but I kind of like that, because it blended out really, really nice, and then like you can build it up to where it has a really, really high coverage. So I would recommend getting this in like your skin color to like cover up like blemishes. That would work really well. And this worked really well with covering on my eyebrows. Like, it wasn't too thick and too thin to where like it wiped half my eyebrow off, because that happens a lot. This was like the perfect consistency. Mine was in the color 115 Light Nude. I'm going to talk about the brows next. This one blew me away. Like, this was so good. Like, it's so hard for me to like different like brow dips from the drugstore. Like, I tried the e.l.f. one and it was too dry for me, and so I got the Anastasia one, and this is what I've been using for years. But I tried this one and I love this. I probably even wear this one instead of my Anastasia. This was so creamy, and it blended out so nice. Like, it's like a thick cream too, so like it stays on and it didn't go anywhere at all. And like, I really like how my eyebrows looked. It's really hard for me to do my eyebrows even, and they look pretty even today. I'm really proud. But it also came with this little brush with it, and I really liked the angle of this. It's really pointy, and it's kind of fatter than the one that I use every day. Like, it's not as angled either, which I thought I wasn't gonna like, but I actually like this a lot, and it blended out the product so nice. Same with the spoolie. Like, it had like a little angle to it, so like it brushed it out so good. Like, yes girl. The next thing I'm going to talk about is the setting spray. This is my favorite setting spray ever. Like, I've never tried anything else but this one, and I absolutely love it so much. I repurchase this all the time. I just got it tonight. This is the one that I had. It's super empty, like it's gone. So I got this one, and you can tell like the name was like rubbed off, like the difference. But my favorite thing to do with setting sprays is like spray my brush before I apply like highlighter and makes it pop, or like the eyeshadow. But this one does such an amazing job of doing that. And when I spray this, it doesn't make my face feel sticky or like that nasty feeling that some setting sprays will do to you. But this one feels so good. It feels so natural, and it really keeps your makeup in place like it says it's going to. Like, it does the job. The next thing I'm going to talk about are the highlighters and the bronzer and the blush. I'm talking about them all at once because they're like the same consistency, like they feel the same, and I love that. Like, they're so soft and smooth when you apply it to your skin, and all of Milani's products smell so good. Like, they smell like the beach or something. Like, this smells like tanning spray, which is so weird, but it smells so good. Like, I just love it so much. I don't know why, but I smell things, so that might be weird to y'all, but makeup just smells weird, but this smells so good. So good. I recommend like all of Milani's. Like honestly, I don't even think I have a miss in this video. I really don't. And I loved this lip gloss. The lip gloss this is my first time trying any of their lip products. Like I have a lipstick, like the liquid lipstick, and I love that. So I was like, let me try one of their like cream ones. And that one was good, but I didn't like the color for my look, so it kind of like came off. But I love this lip gloss, and it's a plumping one, so like it's just amazing. I have a plumping one from a different brand, but this one beat that one by far again. I loved this. That's all I have for this video today. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave me a comment.